Welcome to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. I'm Carol Clark, and today we are talking about somewhat of a frustrating topic, and that is finding good help, finding good people for your practice. This is something that I am seeing across the United States with practices I work with practices I talk to. It is not uncommon for them to not be able to find someone or have someone hired. They don't show up on the first day. It's just kind of crazy, and it's things that we would never have expected to happen in the past, but it is happening. So what I wanted to talk about today is, what do I see with the practices that I'm working with and those that I talk with across the US in terms of the best place where they are finding good people nowadays. So I'm just going to share it right off. I do have a few that are using Indeed and having good luck with that, but by and large, the majority of them are having good luck, myself included, by utilizing word of mouth and simple things through your patients or through Facebook. Now, I know it can sometimes be a little iffy to take a personal recommendation from somebody for a new team member, but most of the time, the people that are giving you those recommendations, they know your practice. They kind of know how you operate, the vibe of your practice, and they're typically recommending people who would probably fit in pretty well. So usually on, like I say, Facebook, doing a post, spreading the word, having something up in your practice, sharing the word of mouth, when you're out somewhere, even if you're at church, something like that. If you share that out somewhere, or you find somebody out somewhere, we don't like to poach people from other practices, but if you're out somewhere and you see somebody who has great customer service and you need somebody with such a skill set or something like that, you can always just share the fact that you do have an opening in your practice. Having everyone in your practice doing the same is really helpful. So I get asked this question a lot, like, is it scary or is it risky to hire somebody, from a acquaintance or someone a patient recommends? The bottom line is, you still screen them. You still have an initial period of time where you can see whether it's going to work out or not. You can even have them sort of test the waters in your practice. I do encourage that. And I do encourage you to also include your team in the evaluation process and that process in terms of who you're interviewing and how you're determining who would move forward to the next step. Because we do want to maximize the use of your time. Screen their resumes very closely. Do an initial, just quick Zoom or online meeting, and then before you invest the time of all your team and that sort of thing, or have someone in your practice who's in the same area where the person's going to be hired, they can even do some of the screening for you. So there's lots of different ways to do it, especially with Zoom and the different ways that you can interact with people online. But always get a resume. Always make sure you have an initial meeting. I know I've been doing some interviewing for some of the practices I work with. They've asked me to just kind of do a quick assessment. I've done that. It's been really kind of fun for me, getting to know different people, but really word of mouth and some posts on social media has actually been bringing in great candidates for a lot of the different practices. Some of the really bigger ones, they have a set process in place and they use Indeed or some other process through their HR department. But if you don't have that, that's a great way to find some good people. If you're using somebody who is a virtual assistant, so a VA, some people are using this quite a bit for different aspects of their practice, whether it's, some billing collections, that sort of thing, somebody who's really not in the practice day to day. If you're going to work with a VA, first of all, make sure that they are with a reputable VA group or you know something about them. I like to use those that are in the US, even though sometimes they're a little bit more expensive, only because they tend to have the similar hours for what you're working, and it's just easier from an accounting perspective as well if you talk to your accountant for some of those sorts of things. And always make sure before you ever hire a VA, think about what their role is going to be. Be very clear on your instructions. Make sure that you've got some instructions set. You're very, very clear on that. Give them something to do before you ever hire them so you can see the quality of their work, so that you can actually, if you're using them for social media or for, for something like that, make sure that you see some of their work. Give them an assignment, give them a project to do, and make sure that that's going to meet your needs and that it's at the quality that you want and in a timely manner, making sure that they're responding very quickly. And you want to make sure that any new candidate has great, communication skills and also has that whole customer service down pat. So I just wanted to come on here real quick because it's a question I'm getting a lot, is where are people finding some good help nowadays? And I've also done some salary research. There's lots of different things that play into that, but that's where a lot of different practices are having some success. And so I'd like to share that with you so that you can hopefully have similar success if that's a struggle that you're having right now in your practice. If I can help in any other way, reach out to me, Carol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. And in the meantime, I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks.